It's our first day on the brand new Norwegian Aqua, and we are going to check out the food, the technology, the entertainment, the boarding process, and so much more. Stay tuned. Almost at Port Canaveral. Took us about 2 hours to drive from Boca Raton, and getting on Norwegian Aqua soon. Can see a couple of the ships. Well, we could. Poor timing. Maybe in a second. I see a Disney ship. Might be the Wish, not sure. And Aqua's there somewhere. I think this is our first time sailing NCL from Port Canaveral, but 8 more minutes. Should be there. Parked in the garage across the street and walking up to the terminal now. Every time I pay for parking, I think it would probably be cheaper for us to take the train to Orlando and take an Uber here as long of a distance as whatever. I don't like paying for parking. Waiting in line for check-in. It is hopping, but line's moving pretty quick, so we'll see what happens. We have an 11 a.m. check-in, and it is 10:46. All checked in and ready to get, well, ready to wait. We're all checked in and just waiting for our boarding group to be called. I'm glad they didn't make these in a small size so that you could lose them. Seems oddly large. I don't know why. They're at group 28, so it should be a matter of moments before we can board. Doing the thing that is never recommended and going right to guest services after boarding, but had a question for them, and yeah, it's actually only a few people online. Going to start off in Indulge food hall. Now there is a buffet on this ship. I barely went to it when we're on Prima because Indulge is also casual, complimentary. However, they have a whole bunch of stations, including this one that actually has a tandoori oven. Love that. A whole bunch of different stations, and you can sit at them, but you can only order from that station if you sit there, which is weird. If you sit at any other table, you just go up to one of these displays, select what you want, add it to the order, and check out, even though it's complimentary. You can also order drinks from there, though there are people coming around, so it's food time. Check-in, by the way, went smoothly. It was maybe 35 minutes, 30 minutes from like walking out of the parking garage to getting on board the ship. And then there was a little bit of a queue once we're on the ship. Really no big deal though, and they were running ahead of schedule, so that was awesome. Something that we did and I try to do when we do park at the port, even though I much prefer not parking at the port, much prefer Ubering, but that would be like a $300 Uber for this, is try to find something, even if it's outside or looks less convenient, that is not at the top of the garage, because even if you're not in a rush, you're going to be sitting potentially in traffic for a while as the garage empties. So we got a spot pretty close to the exit. Just like last time on Prima, food came out quick and hot. Some Singapore street noodles, some dal. I don't remember what else is coming. Desserts, you just go up to the dessert station and grab yourself. And this is a German cake that is, I don't know why it's German. I don't know. It's coconut and delicious. Finished lunch at Indulge, and like on Prima, found that to be excellent. I suspect we'll be back there a whole bunch, a lot of different things to try, and it's really good quality and easy option as well. After that, Larissa wanted to check out, there's some, what was it called?
It's a painting class. What was the name of it? It was Canvas by You.
Yeah, so the thing is, Norwegian recently updated, came out with a completely new version of the app, and I was hopeful, because previously it largely just kind of showed you a PDF of the Freestyle Daily, the daily program. It had some other things you could do, but it was kind of basic. This one seems to be the same, and what's frustrating is Larissa wanted to check this out, and it says in the app that you can come to the theater, where we are now, to sign up. But there's a pretty big queue here and there's one for dining and one for entertainment. And some entertainment stuff you can book in the app, but this you can't. It all just seems kind of silly to me to have so many things you can or may need to sign up for, but can't do in the app. So waiting a while.
And there's no information about the cost or the time. It was like,
so we're just waiting in line to find out if more. Yeah. We'll see. So after probably 20 minutes of waiting and telling them what we were looking for in case there was another way, oh, you just walk right over here and sign up yourself on one of these lists. Not a great way of handling that. Came over to the Belvedere bar on deck 8 in the atrium area. Now this is where the whiskey bar is on, thank you very much, where the whiskey bar is on Prima. But this is a much larger bar, and it's a full bar, not just vodka. They have a piano player playing here now, but it is loud, very loud. Rooms are ready. That happened around 2 o'clock. So just putting everything away and watched the safety video on the TV. Also had to stop by the muster station. Out on our balcony in Disney Treasures there. I think we're on Disney Treasure in November, if I'm not mistaken, as well as Carnival Freedom. Oh, what is that? Let's zoom. I can't remember which royal ship that is. Adventure of the Seas. Our luggage was delivered, so we unpacked and now headed out on deck. This is the main pool deck. Right now, I'm just exploring. I don't know where I'm going.
Starting the cruise.
Love exploring a new ship, and this is interesting because Aqua is so similar to Prima, but there's some significant differences, including the area that we're in now. This is where it's about to start raining, but they've got all sorts of games and stuff, and then the Aqua coaster, which leaves from right up there. But on Prima, it's they have go-karts. I honestly think this is a better use of space, but I think because of the rain, gonna need to finish this exploration later. That's kind of cute. Larissa just noticed that all of the different mini golf sections are different countries. So Australia, and there were, I think, sharks are there. Iceland. There was, I'm guessing that's going to be Jamaica. Yeah. There's one with a windmill that was Netherlands. It's a neat idea. So behind me is actually something I'm a little annoyed with. So this is called Vibe Beach Club, and now Norwegian ships have this. It's an area that is adults only. You do have to pay. I forgot what the cost is for the voyage, several $100s. But you have an elevated level of service. It's capped capacity and adults only. And I really wanted to try it out. So I made a special effort to try to book it this time. But in the app, it was saying that it wasn't available, not like sold out, like it was, I forgot the message, but something was up. And when I called, they said, I don't know, I've never seen this. It says I can't book it, not that it's sold out. And several people in the Facebook group for the sailing had the same problem. And now it's sold out, which happens every sailing. So would have really liked to have tried that out. Would have paid money to try that out. Don't know. New ship, I guess still ironing things out. I think this is only their third or fourth sailing out of the home port. They had a couple sort of previews before in Europe and then maybe out of New York. I don't remember. So we'll see. Definitely be checking this out later in the voyage. The way this works, we'll see it launch here in a second, is you get on a slide float type thing. But it launches you. There's an arm that pushes the thing that you're on up to start your journey, and then it becomes a faster moving slide. Okay. See it go into position there, and then launches you. We're on the move. Don't know if you can tell from that angle. Probably not. Trust me, we're on the move. Just stopped by the local, which we'll talk about later in the cruise, but it's a bar, but also an eatery, because just needed another little snack and some, as I smell it, and some coffee, because I had a very early morning. Lovely weather for a Caribbean cruise. It's actually supposed to be rather nice the rest of the week. Well, you're probably having a better day than that guy. Took a shower, feeling refreshed. We're going to go to the theater in a little bit, but stopped here at the whiskey bar, which is in a different location than on Prima. I'm going to keep making those comparisons. Really nice whiskey selection, though. And they not good or bad, just different thing. Recently, we need to update the site about this. NCL changed their free at sea to more at sea. They say, well, more is included. However, there's no more premier beverage package. So one thing we enjoyed on Prima about the whiskey bar was we paid for the increased, it was not cheap. We paid to go up to the premier beverage package, and we got to try some amazing whiskeys all included. Now that's not a thing, but the good news is they've got quite a few things that might only be like a $5 upcharge. That's, with a couple exceptions, reasonable for that upcharge. So we'll still get to do some sampling. Going down this fun-looking hallway into the theater, going to see what the welcome night show is. Actually, maybe just the beginning. We'll see. Mostly here to check out this theater, and I'm really hungry. So Gonna need food after this. Built some time before the show starts. Larissa secured a seat, and I wanted to look into maybe getting a dinner reservation, and I learned a little bit. So it was kind of blowing my mind, still is, that I can't make dinner reservations in the app. And I said, is that not available in this version of the app or something? He said, not on this ship yet. Okay, well, that's probably also why I couldn't book Vibe. I don't know why they couldn't do it over the phone. That's annoying, but is what it is, and it's temporary. So if you're watching this in, I don't know, hopefully a few weeks, we'll see, then not an issue. Now, while Larissa's holding that seat, I'm gonna run real quick and see if there's space available for a reservation tonight at one of the specialty restaurants. If not, that's okay, and we can also try walking up. All right, further worked out the reservations thing. We'll talk about that after the show. We ended up sticking around for the whole show. Being the first night, it was an introduction to the theater, which is a really cool place. These chandeliers, the walls, everything lights up in different patterns. Is kind of cool, goes along with the show. They introduced the executive officers, as well as singers, dancers. They had a magician duo perform. Had a video from Sid Norman's, which we'll talk about that venue. It's a great spot for live music. So it's just a sampler to make sure that people come back and see the rest of the show, and it worked. I mean, we booked in the app while it was going on. The show, one of the shows, Elements, I think it's called, on the last night. Now it's off to dinner. We might be back here later though. We'll see. We've come to Nama Sushi for dinner, and this is one of the specialty restaurants, so you do not need reservations, and well, certainly not tonight. But it's the first night, so perhaps that's why it's quiet. There's a $50 cover charge, or you can use your Fritzi or Mortzi dining credits, and that allows you to choose any 4 items off of this menu, whatever combination you want. Now, we did have some trouble deciding, and she said, oh, I'll bring you the dessert out as well as a 5th thing, so it seems at least somewhat negotiable there. The initial couple items we ordered are here. Cute what they did with the wasabi paste. This is Kenpachi Crudo. It's Kenpachi sashimi with serrano peppers and ponzu. Excited about that. The sashimi, the quality of the fish is really good. And this is a relatively simple, just like a spicy tuna type roll. This is a pineapple carpaccio dessert. Good?
Amazing.
We're taking a little walk after dinner because I definitely ate entirely too much. Came up to the observation deck even before we entered it. I think it's around the corner. Maybe not even in the right spot. We'll find out soon. It's a sizable ship model.
It's just an next to the perspective.
Yes.
It's rather large.
Yeah.
I love this.
And then it's kind of fun to see on a new ship. Not many plaques. These plaques, if you're not familiar, most ships have a wall like this. It's where they put plaques given to the ship on their inaugural visit to that particular port. So not many here because she hit a few spots in Europe and then New York and has been cruising the Caribbean just for a few weeks. This is a much smaller observation lounge than if you're familiar with like Encore, if you go back to those videos from when we're on Encore a couple of years ago, and we'll be back in August on Encore again. It's a lovely space, but it's just a lot smaller than on some other NCL ships.
Definitely.
Pool deck, all cleared out at night, but pretty lights on the slide. Looking forward to trying out that slide that we saw earlier today. Something different. I really want to make it another hour and a half to show you guys something, but it's been a long day and very comfy here. This is all the way aft. You can hear the wake. I'm here in the Penrose atrium. It's deck 6, 7, and 8, I believe, and right now it's a bit late, but it's a hopping area by day to watch people transitioning to different parts of the ship. Plus you've got Starbucks, you've got several bars. The casino bleeds into the part downstairs in kind of an interesting way, actually. A bunch of things going on in this area. But I just stepped out of the theater. And I wanted to show you guys, and that's why I stayed up a little later, the theater in a different configuration from what we saw it in during tonight's show. And that's because all of those seats, they slide into the wall or under the other deck, and you have this multi-story open club space. I was hoping to catch video of them actually transitioning the space. They said it takes them about 10 minutes. They did it earlier than I thought. But either way, it's a neat thing. I've heard that there are some practicality issues there operationally, but it makes it a more flexible space. And there are some people out there tonight having a good time. Good for them. I've been up entirely too long. It's time for me to get to bed. So thank you guys for watching. This video was, mostly about just kind of roaming and exploring and embarkation, but we've got more videos to come from Norwegian Aqua. Tomorrow is a sea day, and hopefully with better weather. I made some phone calls. I've been told we've got better weather secured for the rest of the crew. So hopefully tomorrow we'll explore the outer decks a bit more, maybe check out that slide, or maybe just get lazy out with a drink. We'll find out. Whatever happens for the rest of the cruise, we'll bring it to you. So like, subscribe, ring that bell. Thank you guys so much. If you want to check out more, explore the channel. We've got recent vlogs from the maiden of MSC World America. I've got ship tours and vlogs from a sister ship to this, the first one, the Norwegian Prima, and so much more. Yeah. Look forward to talking ship with you again real soon.